A very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining in. I believe it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We can get started over here. So just waiting for more people to join in as the reminder went in a little late. Sorry about that. But I think we have pretty much enough crowd to get started with. Anyways, there's going to be recording. So the ones joining in late, Steph, I request you to, update the topic and also the phone coordinates. Thank you. All right, as you all see here in front of the screen, the topic for today's session is payment integration with not just one or two, but multiple players that uLaw has integrated with. And of course, we're going to be talking about each and every one of them, but the process that all five players that you see here, they're all very similar. So we're going to be mainly focusing on the processes of integrating with these players, different players, and we're going to see how it is going to benefit you and your firm out of integrating with these different players. And just to let you all know ahead, uLawPay is running a campaign. We'll be sharing details on the chat window later as we progress with the demo and the webinar. And if you have any particular questions, I request all of you to enter it on the chat window. And the ones that my colleague Steph could answer, she would probably definitely take it right away. And the ones that is beyond her control, I would be doing it towards the end of the session. I request you to be patient. If you have questions, put it on the chat window and wait for one of us to get back and respond to it. Thank you all for joining in once again and showing us support every other Friday. Before I begin, one important thing is today's session is not accredited for any CPD credits. We have a CPD next week. I think it's on trust and general reconciliation topics. So basically reconciliation. It's a CPD topic. And but this one is not a CPD. So still don't leave, please. So let's explore a little bit over here. We will see how these different players change your life in terms of collecting payments. Like every other webinar, obviously this webinar has a nice agenda too. The agenda is very simple. We're going to see how the payment integration adds value to your business, how it's going to bring a different perspective of, payment collection and, streamline your entire business using these different key players. As you see, there are 5 major players. Number 1, uLawPay. Number 2, Pivotal. Number 3, Monaris. Number 4, TD Canada Trust. Number 5, Global Payments. Now, it's not in any specific order of liking or any such thing. It's just a random, numbers that we've put in there, but random order that we have entered it in there. But they're all equally meaning the same to uLaw, as they are all integrated with the system, and you can use it all in a very similar manner. And we're going to see what are the different compliant methods of collecting funds electronically in trust, how to set up payment collection in trust accounts, especially. And of course, I'm going to show for both trust in general, but many of you are always panicking when it comes to setting up payment collection for trust, because it's where extra compliance lies, or rather additional compliance lies. So we're going to see that in specific. And of course, what are the key benefits of integrating payment collection with one of these players, how your business can be run more efficient, simple, compliant. So we're going to see all of those points today in the next few minutes. And of course, I will walk you all through uLaw program afterwards. So I'll probably keep 15 to 20 minutes to showcase how all of this works in uLaw, okay? So to start with, I'd like to always quote some pros. So integrated payment solution is definitely one of the most game changer or life changing when it comes to, your business. I mean, it definitely gets you to different level because it helps you to get paid faster and more accurately. So that means when you raise an invoice or when you generate an invoice, you have a link that is sent along with the invoice to the client, and you're going to ask them to pay using that link. So that's going to be more convenient and cost effective because you don't have to sit and follow up with the client every single time. Instead, you're letting this link play that role. You're letting this link reach the client faster and asking them to pay from anywhere using any device at any time. So all these players accept major credit cards, Visa, Master, Amex, and you could offer it to your clients with a lot of options. You don't restrict them. You don't, tell them that I accept only Visa or MasterCard, vice versa. But, you're able to manage your business better because the invoice goes with a balance due. And, when the link is accessed by the client, the balance due amount shows up and your client gets to pay only the amount that is due or outstanding from your client. So that can be assured that, you're also getting paid for only the amount that you're due and you're not collecting any excess amount or anything below. So it's at par. It's exactly what you're collecting. So number one, it's much faster, much accurate, cost effective. Don't ask me now, why is it cost effective? After discussing all of this, you must definitely be wondering, yes, it is at an additional cost, but it is definitely going to save you a lot of money because your time is also money, is also valued. Again, you following up with your clients repeatedly is not going to look more professional. End of the day, you want to cap yourself to following up with the client a few number of times. So it is always nice to have these automated reminders sent out or these invoices sent out with a link or the retainer letters carrying a link so that end of the day when they get to the bottom of the retainer letter, they are invariably reminded to pay the retainer to you using that link. So it is definitely cost effective when you see the overall process, the time involved at your end is reduced, and in turn, your hourly rate is also converted into the effectiveness of the cost over here. And of course, convenient to use. You can use it from anywhere. You as well as your client can use it from anywhere, any device. All major credit cards accepted, and all the documents, that is your retainer letter, your receipts, your invoices, everything that is client facing will carry the link at the bottom reminding them to pay so that you don't have to wait for those checks or email transfers to be accepted. Either it gets lost in the bunch of your emails, or if it's check, you might be getting, it might get bounced, or there could be other delays. So all of these risks that is associated with different types of payments are avoided when you are opting out, when you're opting in rather for integrated payment solution. So these are certain pros that you can probably call it as get the basics right at the first instance, so that when you are, in the stage where should I or should I not, these are some points that would help you to, take a call whether, okay, let me give it a try. Let's see how it works. And then I could always take a call, right? So that part being few pros of using integrated payment system. Now, when you come in detail, what does it do? So, of course, collecting payments, yes, collecting payments, but where does it collect payments? It collects payments, of course, into your trust or general respectively. And, there are separate terminal IDs maintained for trust and general so that, the money that is called as a retainer or any other trust deposit goes into your trust using the trust terminal ID. When you connect it with the program, it will automatically send your client only the trust terminal ID, reference number, information, link. It gets, of course, converted into the link once you have punched in the details from the settings. I'll definitely show you how it's done. And the workflow is more clear. You know that once the invoice or the retainer letter is sent out, the client hits the link and pays the amount. And if it's a retainer letter, it's very clear it is going to be deposited into the trust. And likewise, if it is a client payment or any other payment, then it goes into your general account. After you raise an invoice, after you've completed the matter and there's an amount due, then obviously it goes into your general account. So it's so helpful to manage and streamline the entire processing of your payments, and you're able to record as and when they happen. That's the most important thing. So, you don't have to wait for a couple of days until you get to the system. Then you record the transaction with the appropriate date, amount, reference numbers for the payment, then who paid, etc. Instead, that one link, you collect the payment, then automatically submit it, and everything right from the date, amount, reference numbers, everything that we just discussed gets automatically updated in your books, which is saving you a lot of time, right? So again, it's also going to ensure that once the funds are approved, the processing time and the payments that you're collecting on invoices or retainers are definitely getting into your trust or general respectively. So you have separate terminal IDs. The workflow pattern is very streamlined, and you record the transaction as they happen. And most importantly, most of them are automated. They are recorded automatically, the date, amount, and other particular items that gets recorded automatically. And that way, it saves you a whole lot of time being more efficient. And trust me, these are just one-time setup. These are not even something that, you should be doing every other time or every now and then. So when you are using uLaw, if you go into settings and if you go into accounts, so we all know settings has close to 10 tabs. And one of the tabs is accounts tab, where if you go into accounts, I think it is on the 5th or the 6th line where you say, what would you like to use as payment collection app? Like I said, there are 5 different players. They all work very similarly, like, TD, Global Payments, Pivotal, Monaris, LawPay. They all work very similarly, but of course they have their own differences. One charges account fee, one doesn't charge account fee, one charges higher, collection rate, one charges lower, but it depends on which one. You can just probably talk to all 5 of them, have a demo with them, have a chat, and then understand what works best for your company. But currently, I think LawPay is offering a $150 credit as a signing bonus or sign-up bonus. So you can check it out. At least, you have a offer going on, which you can avail, I think somewhere between May the 2nd to August the 2nd, if I'm not wrong. It's for 3 whole months. So this is the right time for you to try that out, check that out. Steph will be sharing the links in the due course. But if you're interested, you can also reach out to us on support@uLawPractice.com. Now, about the setup that I was talking about. So setting up is a one-time thing. You go to settings, you go to accounts, you choose the player, and then some of them have automatic sign-in, where LawPay allows direct sign-in and authorized from uLaw. So once you sign in directly, all the terminal IDs and secret keys gets updated automatically, and all that you got to do is simply click on save. Okay, so create secret keys if other players separately for trust in general. If you're from the settings panel, of course, if you're using LawPay, then you have automatic sign-in and you can authorize from uLaw, and it will automatically show up your trust and general terminal ID with the respective secret keys. There's nothing that you need to do other than just signing up from the settings. And once it's all connected, when you go in, there are a few things that you will start seeing is different in your, payment side. So when you, let's say number one, if you're doing a retainer letter, at the bottom of the retainer letter, receipt, invoice, all the client-facing documents, right? You would be seeing a link at the bottom so that your client can click on that link and make the payment. Now, other than that, when you are collecting the payment, let's say manually you've gotten the credit card from the client, then you can go yourself into the matter, into the retainer or the client payment tab and accept the payment. And you will see when you enter the amount, automatically at the bottom, you will see a payment collection tab or button that you can click, and it will take you to another page where you can add in your client's credit card information. So if the invoice has any outstanding balance, obviously your client will receive the link, and you just need to record the confirmation that will be mailed to you directly by one of these players. And when you're entering a retainer or a client payment, as I just mentioned, uLaw will prompt the payment collection and show you a collect payment tab. I will definitely walk you through this when I'm in uLaw, which will allow you to collect and record the transaction into the appropriate account. If you click on retainer, it will take you to the trust account. If you click on client payment, it will automatically take the funds into the general account and record the transaction in the proper account automatically, thus being very accurate. And, you will want to definitely avoid any errors at that point in time. Viewer number 9, does this work for insurance companies sending settlements? That's a good question, but I think it doesn't work that way because, one, insurance company sends checks. As far as I know, checks or bank draft. And two, this needs to be recorded under a client. Insurance company is not a client, right? They're a vendor or they're additional party who's doing a settlement payment. So I don't think this can be done with them because you don't raise an invoice. There's no sort of payment collection document that is being raised. Hence, I don't think this is something that will work for insurance companies. But I can double check that for you in case with my technical team and get back to you. All right. Thank you for that question, and thank you, Steph, for notifying me. It's indeed a good question. So the concept is to have an outstanding or a due from a client so that these client-facing documents will carry a link and they can pay using it. That's the concept, right? Because what's payment collection in general? Payment collection is that there's some money owing to you. And it's from a client, of course, and you have to follow up. In previous days where, all this payment integration was not in picture, people used to use payment collection agencies. Even now, I know quite a few of them using it. But then it's obviously additional hassle to you, and it's more money that gets charged to you. But coming back to it, payment collection is nothing but some outstanding amount to you from your client, either in the form of retainer or a client payment that gets into your trust or general respectively. By using a payment processing or a payment collection software integrated that too with the program that you're using, like uLaw, it's going to enhance the whole process and enable you to add in the information more efficiently, where, when you collect a payment, it goes into the trust or general, then you're able to automatically record the details. So there's a lot of efficiency in work because the information is more accurate, and half of it gets recorded automatically. So like I already mentioned, the date, the amount, the time, the reference numbers, who was it paid by, all the information gets collected automatically, and then, which is allowing you to be more, efficient, at the same time cost effective, because the overall solution and the process only saves you time and money. And at the same time, there's a lot of flexibility in here because, the separate terminal IDs, the separate trust and general accounting only makes it more helpful for you to be compliant with Law Society, and at the same time less of a hassle. You don't have to worry too much about whether I'm putting the money into the right account or not, because when you click on retainer letter, it only brings up your retainer based account, which is your trust account. We don't bring up your general account here because retainer is linked to trust, and client payment is linked to general, not vice versa. So the program is smart enough to do that at the background and give you the right account or bring the money into the right account. So separation of accounts, compliance, less hassle, and overall money is saved, time is saved. And of course, all of these are encrypted and tokenized. So it's these payment collections are very safe to be used portals, and it only adds value, as I mentioned at the beginning. So this is how a workflow looks like. When you are in a matter, let's say you click on new retainer, then this page comes up, you enter the amount. The moment you enter the amount, the payment collection button pops up in blue, so you can actually take action to add them using payment collection, using the payment collection button. Then you can add in the credit card information, and immediately you will get a reference number page or approval page of the transaction being processed. Okay, so the workflow is very straightforward and simple. I'll be showing this to you when I'm doing an example. Now, that is one method. The second method is when you are invoicing the client. Remember I said at the bottom of the invoice, you'll have a link where people can click on the link, and immediately the other page opens up that you see on the right-hand side, where, the amount is $565, which is matching with the amount due. And over there, you can enter the credit card information and process it. So that is the second method. One, you can directly get it, go into the account, click on retainer or client payment and enter the amount. Or two, you can click, your client can click on this link and enter the details over there. Okay, so those are some things that would definitely make a change in your overall payment collection system. Now, as I mentioned, I want to show you all how everything looks in your uLaw program. Okay, so the ones who are not using it, let's start from the scratch. The first thing you will have to do is obviously decide on a player. Now, there are multiple players. You can, like I said, LawPay, Pivotal, Monaris, TD, and Global Payments. And you can definitely choose one of them. Thank you, viewer number 9, for giving us your email ID. I'll definitely get back to you, Ashley, on this part. As of what I know, I've answered it, but I want to double check on it and come back to you just so that, we are on the same page. Thank you. Okay, great. Now, about choosing a player, I absolutely leave it to you, but you can consult with our support team or us, one of us here towards the end of the call, with how everything works, what works best, which one of the players is giving you discounts and offers. I can share all the additional information towards the end of the session. But let's say, as of now, I have opted for LawPay under my settings. So the first thing to do is opt for a player. Once you opt for a player, go to settings, go to accounts. Okay, there's several tabs here. Accounts is the tab we are accessing. It'll be set to none, but let's say after that, you put it to LawPay. I'm using a test account. Once you do that, then automatically there'll be a sign-in page that pops up where you'll have to punch in the username, password for signing into LawPay account. That is given to you while you purchase LawPay. Once you sign in, then automatically these terminal IDs that you see here for trust in general and the respective secret keys gets punched in automatically after you sign it. There's nothing that you have to do. I have not entered these. In fact, these are automatically entered as soon as I clicked on LawPay test. Until then, you see when it was in none, it was nothing. It was 0 and dot. But with the moment you choose one of the players, then I've already signed in. Hence, these terminal IDs are showing up here as it is. Then all that you have to do is simply click on Save. The moment you click on Save, you'll see that the account is activated with the payment collection app. So there are a few things that you'll see initially as differences between having a payment collection and not having a payment collection. So when you have a payment collection, most important client-facing documents are definitely retainer letters, invoices, and receipts. So you'll see that when you are, let's say we create a client, let's say the client's name is okay, just saving it here, not adding any other information, just the name to open a matter. Say this was break and open criminal file. Hourly rates and other things are entered in here. Okay. Now this is a matter. Day one, you want to charge your client a retainer. Okay. We have met them. There was a client meeting. Let's say the client meeting was completed and it went on for about an hour and 30 minutes. You want to charge your client for the same. Instead of flat rate, do a billable time and save it. It's all good here. Now, after the client meeting was done, you're sending your client a retainer letter. So you go into compliance, download a retainer letter for, let's say, $500. When you download a retainer letter, just watch it carefully here that At the bottom of the retainer letter, this is one of your first few client-facing documents. At the bottom of the retainer letter, so page 1 of 3, page 2 of 3, page 3 of 3, that the sum is $500. And over here, you see your client is saying that, please click here to pay the retainer. So immediately you see that the $500 is entered in here. Let's say Emily Paris, card number, CVV. Okay, let's say the billing address and other details are entered here. And let's say that you're processing the payment. Make sure you're not a robot. So this is what it is. Then you immediately get an, test account, and then you also get an email from us about, the LawPay thing. An email from LawPay or Pivotal or TD, any one of the players that will automatically send you an email. uLaw will actually send an email on behalf of them saying that, we've collected the payment, it's come into your trust account or your general account respectively. Other than that, you also see that the next time you're raising an invoice. So as of today, you have collected in the retainer. So you can now go into the new retainer tab. Remember this page that I was showing you all where you click on new retainer and then, enter the amount, fill in the amount, immediately the payment collection button will show up and then you can enter these things. So the one probably initially that your client clicked on this link and paid is one method. And the other one is by clicking on the new retainer. And now I'm entering the $500 here. Immediately I see the payment collection. Validate all fields. Same page comes up. Just absolutely same. Emily Paris, card number. Now, while doing this method, you would be doing it. So you should have the card number with you. Make sure that the client has provided you everything, okay? And you come down, make sure you're submitting the payment. Of course, on a robot, and the same thing happens. So there are two different ways to do it. Either your client clicks on this link and pays, or your client wants to give you the credit card information and you can punch it all in here and enter remaining and click on apply. Now, let's say that you start the work further after getting the retainer. Let's say there was some drafting and then there was some hearing. We're doing a flat rate this time and save it. Now is the time for you to raise an invoice. Click on invoice, complete. Now when I'm completing the invoice, you see there's an amount due here under the projected balance is also seen under the invoice. And this is going to match with what you have raised in the invoice. And it will open up as a new page for client payment, which is due from the client. So it's amount due. Go to the last page. You see amount due $799.50. When your client clicks on this credit card link and it takes them in here, this time it is going to go into your general account and not the trust account. It's the same credit card, but you are collecting it. This time they're clicking on the invoice and not the general. So you see that the invoice is coming into your general account. All that otherwise you could do is simply click on payments. Let's say collect the payment. Let's say it was credit card. Enter the reference number for credit card and say that Emily Paris paid this. you could just say payment collection and repeat the same process again. So whether they pay you or you get paid through the link, it all works the same. Just make sure that, the information is provided to you appropriately. So number one, you will see that in the retainer letter. Number two, you will see them on the invoices. Number three, you can get the credit card information and click on either new retainer, enter the amount, and automatically the payment collection will pop up in blue. And likewise for your client payment also, but the respective, accounts, the order ID you see and the terminal ID you see, they're all respectively assigned to the trust or general. So when I clicked on new retainer, watch here carefully, please, all of you. When I clicked in here, you will see payment collection for trust and the terminal ID and other details for trust. Now, when I clicked on client payment, it will automatically show up payment collection for general and the terminal IDs, etc. for general. The other document that is probably, let's say, your payment receipt, your retainer receipts, other client-facing documents also has the link to pay for the amount. If you want to give them a receipt, you can give them a receipt, invoice, it's totally up to you. Likewise, when you go into accounts, let's say after you've connected the banks, you want to test your payments, you can go into payment collection. You'll see trust or general here respectively. If you want to collect any payment into your trust, you can just click on amount, enter the amount, validate all fields. Likewise, it is going to bring you into this page, same page where you will enter the information. And similarly, for your general account, you validate all fields, and you're brought into the same page. So far, we've seen under settings, under accounts, you choose a player. Once you choose a player, you can sign in if it's LawPay, there's an automatic sign in here. And there are other players too, which you can explore. Once the setup is done, this is a one-time setup, then you'll start using all documents that are client-facing, and it will carry all the information, necessary information for your clients to make the payment. Starting off with the retainer letter, then the invoices, then also your receipts. So all three documents here. The first one is the retainer letter. Click on it and the link goes up here. Then you go back. Let's say the next one is your invoice. You raised an invoice. The amount due was here. Your client clicks on it and it takes you into the general account. This payment is getting collected into the general account with the reference number, the card information, everything. Subsequently, the third document was receipt. Again, if it's a retainer receipt, then it goes into your trust. If it's the payment receipt, it goes into your general account. End of the day, the hassle that you go through with adding in information manually is definitely reduced, and more accurate information. And most importantly, it will also enable you to account at the same time. You're simultaneously accounting into the respective bank accounts. Now, besides that, you also see that There are other players which will also provide you the same flexible and secure transactions. So you just have to make sure that you're able to test them all. And whether it's a physical terminal ID or a virtual terminal ID, these days not many people are using physical terminal ID, especially after COVID. We don't have people, or rather your clients, coming into your office and making any credit card payments. It's all online, where you've been given a virtual terminal ID, and it's been linked. The virtual terminal ID is what you're basically entering in here as under terminal ID, and the secret key, which is provided by each of those players to you. Of course, any one of them you go with. And once you add in them, then, it's being separated between trust and general. The accounts are being separated. You manage the funds separately. There's more streamlined process, and the funds get automatically deposited into the respective accounts. So that way, you are not confused whether, you need to deposit this into the trust or the general, and you're not basically confused, and you're able to think clear, and you're able to do it very accurately. And, end of the day, all these funds are approved, and the processing time is also less. And you are for sure getting paid. That's one of the most important, especially instead of following up 2 or 3 or 5 times, you are just getting it paid as soon as you're sending them an invoice, because the flexibility of having a link and, getting the money into trust or general respectively is definitely more efficient. That helps you work with different platforms. So I definitely request all of you to, try it out and let us know which one of them that you would like to go with. If you are definitely someone who wants to try using the payment integration, this is a very good chance and time for you to start exploring into this particular avenue, because with everyone going online, everything going online, rather virtual today, everything is about being virtual. You attend virtual seminars, which is webinars. You are also doing virtual meetings with your client. So why not get the payments also done virtually than, asking them to send you checks or email transfers and spending more time following up for it and not sure whether you have received it or you missed it, or there's so many ifs and buts which you can avoid by, opting for this beautiful opportunity or, provision that we have to integrate with different players and use them all. So, end of the day, it's such a simple and efficient task, which is again compliant with Law Society. All the funds that are electronically collected, end of the day, you can just go in here. If you're doing a Form 9A, you can just electronic transfers can be done. This is totally a different thing, but like how you have a ETTR for Form 9A, there are different documents that you can collect for electronic payments. Of course, once you're done with the payments that you're seeing here, check or credit card, then you can just issue a receipt for the payment that came in, and you'll just be able to be more compliant with the Law Society, because receipts are very important upon collecting the payment. So you can make sure to generate them as soon as you get the payment into your trust or general respectively. Now, I think I'm almost to end of the session. So any questions? I'm happy to take it. The ones who are attending the session who are not using uLaw, I request you to sign up for a 30-day free trial. We're towards the end of the month. So it'll be nice to start a new trial. You get one till end of next May. So that would help you to take demos. We give kind of unlimited demos, I would say. I mean, at least we restrict it to the first 2 or 3 sittings, but we don't then, have any restriction in terms of the number of demos. But please do refer your friends. We have 30 to 45 minutes to 1 hour. Depends on whether you want to do it as 2 sessions or 3 sessions. So we are happy to do it over 30 to 45 minutes to 1 hour per session. So sign up for a free trial, take a demo with us, and spread a word to your friends. Refer a friend program is there. Steph is going to be sharing those links now shortly. We have a new question here. Are we able to record receipts of payments received by checks? Absolutely, yes, Adya. So, yeah, the free trial, I'll come to the question. Was this training recorded? Yes, viewer number 22. I'm going to come to all your questions. So first, Sadhya, yes, you're absolutely right. You can record any receipt, even made with check, credit card, doesn't matter. I mean, today's focus was all on payment collection using, of course, virtual payments like credit cards. So I didn't talk about checks. But if you look at it, there's a place where you can choose the method of payment, and check is one of the top ones, and you can issue a receipt for that and give it to your client. Of course, you can do check, email transfers, electronic fund transfer. There's several method of payments that you can choose from, and yeah, check is definitely one of them. The 30-day trial, free trial, starts from the day you register, but let's say today is April 28th, you started today. Technically, the next working day is only May 1st for us to give you a demo, but we'll book you in if you have requested for a time, and you get a full 30-day trial, so you get it till, in fact, 31st of May, more than 30 days. So that is your next question, Satya. I hope I have answered both your questions. Viewer number 22, if yes, where can I rewatch? Our YouTube channel. Please, we have our YouTube channel. We can either email the link to you or just go on the YouTube platform. You know what? I can even walk you all through because we never get this chance of additional 10 minutes. So look into it over here. This is my YouTube channel, my YouTube screen where you have uLawPractice, and all that you had to do is subscribe to uLawPractice, and then you see a whole bunch of it. Under this, you have playlist, and under playlist, you will see uLaw webinars, and you will see all the webinars in here, okay? You see, last updated was 6 days ago. It was last week we had a CPD on everything practice management, okay? So to answer your question, viewer number 22, this recording will be available as early as Monday, and you can rewatch it in there. Okay, thanks. Are there any video available for the full demo of uLaw? Yes, Sadhya, I request you to give us your email ID if you want. Instead of putting it in here, please click on Stephanie uLaw and give her your email ID. We'll be happy to share the links with you. Our YouTube channel actually has plenty of videos on training, on tutorials. There'll be so much that you can all learn from. I don't know how many of you are attending these seminars, webinars, are basically aware of it, but there's something called Learn uLaw at Your Own Pace. This is one of my favorite playlists, and this has everything. uLaw one-on-one session, a primer video. This is the 45-minute video. Then learn about your contact management, that's another 45-minute video. So the overall 8 videos is about put together, let's say 6.5 hours to 7 hours. It takes you through a complete uLaw that you need to learn, and you'll be able to definitely perform better using uLaw after you go through this learn at your own pace. Maybe I should share this link with all of you. So give me one moment. So let me share this link. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Any of you? I really like right questions, Sadia. Thank you so much. Any questions? Viewer number 22, I hope you're clear. All the videos are available in the uLawPractice. I request you to check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Subscribe button is on the right-hand side, guys. I've subscribed to it if you all see. So please try to subscribe to the channel. Steph, I request you to share the links and details that would be helpful for all of them regarding our LawPay offer. So guys, since today's payment integration, I'm letting you all know that LawPay is one of our primary providers who's offering about 150 Canadian dollars as the credit upon registering with them, signing up with them. You get this credit within 45 days of signing up. So I request all of you to give it a shot. There's a link where you can register. Okay, so this offer is valid from May the 2nd to August the 2nd. Trust me, this is so simple. You just have to click on schedule a demo, enter your details. Link once you click on this link. And the other useful links, refer a friend is a very good program that is going on. When you refer a friend to us, you get a $50 gift card from us. Of course, after they sign up, they stay with us for a couple months, then we send you the gift card. I mean, it's just a token of love and appreciation for sharing your, for recommending us to your friends. So please check out refer a friend. There are other useful links on how you can use the YouTube channel to the best. There's some tips on, Instagram, Twitter, other social media platforms that you can follow us on. I request you all to please make a note of it. Copy these links so that, you can access it later. And if you all need any further information, the best thing to do is email us on support@uLawPractice.com. Awesome. So just to keep the recording short, if there are not any more questions, I'd like to turn off the recording. One last time, I hope today's webinar was helpful for all of you. The payment integration with 5 different major players, they all work the same, but just to know that how everything works from the scratch, right from the settings to the time you collect the payment, everything is clearly indicated from today's seminar. For any further information, like, any of you are interested, you'd like us to introduce you to one of the players or a few different players, we can definitely put you in touch with them, and we can introduce you to them so they can schedule the demo and do everything from there. Or if you also need our help in setting it up in uLaw, even for that, you can reach out to us on support@uLawPractice.com. Then we'll be happy to assist you over the process of setting it up. Any other questions, anyone, before I wind up today's session? Next week is a CPD. It's a nice topic, the most crucial topics throughout the year. This is something that definitely rings like an alarm. Trust and general reconciliation demystified. That's the topic for next week. It's a CPD, 1-hour CPD session. We're going to talk about reconciliation process. What are some key points? I'm myself going to do a lot of homework before I come in for this session. Probably I'll talk to our bookkeeping team and find out some nice points and tips for you all to probably make reconciliation process more simple. So please don't miss to attend it. If you have friends, this is a free CPD, so please do pass on the message to them. Take a screenshot. Feel free to take a screenshot. Oh, you know what? I'll also share the link for this one. So you can just forward the link to your friends, and you can ask them to join in for the webinar, and we'll be happy to, have a bigger crowd. Okay, so I think that's almost it. I don't see any other questions. Steph, if I had missed any question, I request you to let me know. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, for being there throughout the webinar. Thank you for showing the support. Look forward to seeing you all next week for the topic, Trust and General Reconciliation Demystified. Well, have a great weekend. Thank you for joining once again. Talk to you all soon. Thank you.